In today's digital landscape, we find ourselves constantly bombarded by a deluge of news headlines, particularly those depicting distressing events. This incessant exposure can lead to a troubling phenomenon known as desensitization. Studies suggest that as we scroll through our social media feeds, witnessing negative news stories repeatedly, we gradually become numb to the emotional weight of these events. This emotional numbness doesn't just dull our reactions, it significantly impacts our moral judgments and empathetic responses toward others. A recent study highlighted the effects of what researchers call the moral repetition effect. Participants in the study were shown headlines about various unethical behaviors over a span of several weeks. Remarkably, those who encountered the same headlines multiple times reported feeling less anger and perceived the actions as less unethical compared to those who saw the headlines only once. The most striking decline in emotional response occurred between the first and second exposures, illustrating how quickly our feelings can diminish. This suggests that even a single repeated exposure can diminish our outrage. The implications of these findings are profound. When we encounter distressing headlines repeatedly, our emotional systems become dulled. The initial anger we might feel upon learning about a wrongdoer's actions fades, leading us to judge these events as less morally reprehensible. Lisa Fazio, a psychology professor involved in the research, pointed out that increased exposure can actually shift our perceptions of morality. When injustice becomes a part of our everyday reality, it can lead us to believe that these events are more common than they are, which may reduce our inclination to take action. Furthermore, this desensitization can be particularly harmful for individuals who already struggle with anxiety or depression. For them, the constant barrage of negative news can exacerbate their emotional fatigue and contribute to feelings of helplessness. In a world where many news events feel out of our control, it's easy to understand why someone might choose to disengage emotionally. However, this disengagement can lead to a sense of learned helplessness, making it even harder to muster the motivation to care about significant social issues. So what can we do to counteract this desensitization? One effective strategy is to practice mindful media consumption. By approaching our news intake with intention and critical thinking, we can foster a more balanced perspective. Engaging in periodic digital detoxes can also help us reclaim our emotional responses. By stepping back from the relentless cycle of negative headlines, we can reset our emotional thresholds and rediscover our capacity for empathy. So while staying informed is vital, it's equally important to recognize the impact that repeated exposure to negative news can have on our mental health and moral judgments. By cultivating a more mindful approach to media consumption, we can protect our emotional well-being and retain our empathy for those who are suffering. In a world where compassion is needed more than ever, it's crucial that we do not let desensitization erode our humanity. Stay subscribed for more videos.